Okay, so we are live again. It is 4:25 a.m. Labor Day, 9/4/2023, and I'm going to start doing another deep dive. Uh, and I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and while I'm working on some more content for the Flora 4, I figured I'd try to at least get an introduction to this um, horrible set of unalivings. This will probably be a few different episodes, probably 3 or 4 different episodes, but it's uh, been, like I said, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So let's put this up because it's going to be important. So here we talk about true crime, violent crimes, criminal cases. It's not going to be suitable for everybody. So if you don't like this content or have a sensitivity to this content, um, please be advised. So let's do this, and I will be right back. All right, so what I'm going to do first here is do a little bit of a reading here. So the good news about this particular set of crimes here is there's quite a bit of information on this. So the Connecticut River Valley killer, also known as the Valley Killer, is moniker for an unidentified American serial killer believed to be responsible for at least 7 unalivings of young women in the Connecticut River Valley, northeastern United States between 1978 and 1988. In 1985 and 1986, the skeletal remains of 2 victims were recovered within 1,000 feet of each other in a wooded area in Kellyville, New Hampshire. Forensic examination indicated multiple stab wounds between the recovery of the first and second bodies. Between the recovery of, hang on now. Between the recovery of the first and second bodies, a 36-year-old woman was stabbed to death in a frenzied attack inside her home in Saxons River, Vermont. 10 days later, the remains of a third missing woman were found, also bearing evidence of stab wounds. At this point, investigators began examining prior homicides in the area and found 2 previous cases in 1978 and 1981 that further reinforced the presence of a burgeoning serial killer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go right here to Kellyville, New Hampshire. We'll do it this way here. stop sharing that for a second there. So here is Newport, New Hampshire, and around here we usually call it New Puerto Rico. And Kellyville is basically this way here. So this Route 11 John Stark Highway here. There's a covered bridge right here. This is the Sugar River here. There's the middle school in Newport. And if I back up a little bit, there's Shaw's right there. I used to work right in here for a furniture company here. And if you take this road all the way this way, you get Beaver Pond Farm Stand, Market Basket, New Hampshire Route 103. Okay, so that's kind of like a bearing. What I want to do now is I'll put the music on in a second. Okay, so let's put some music on. Why is that so low? There you go. Okay, so this is basically just to give people bearings of where we are. Okay, so this is New England, there's Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and basically you have Vermont here, the border of New Hampshire, and running parallel to this is what they call the Connecticut River. So if we zoom in here, Concord's the capital of New Hampshire, Manchester's the biggest city, so it's west of this here. And you get two major highways. You get 93 here, and you get 89 that runs east to west. And then you have 95, which is the interstate. So if we go in and zoom here, so here's Newport. We were just there. And this is 103 going to Claremont West, or you go east to Newbury, Bradford, Sunapee. Beautiful country up in here. So basically the reason why they call this the Connecticut River Valley Killer, because most of these unalivings were done in the general area of the Connecticut River here. So we'll bypass this for a couple of seconds and go back to the reading. Maybe. So here's a sketch. Now, I don't know how great this sketch is, but we'll keep reading. At the peak of the investigation, and after additional homicides and one non-fatal attack, investigators noted similarities in the MO, often used dump sites, and specific wound patterns that linked many of the murders, suggesting a common predator. The murders apparently stopped in 1988 after a woman survived an encounter with the killer. The lead suspect in the case, identified by the surviving victim as her assailant, died in a murder-suicide in 2005. If only it was that easy, right? Because as you can see here, 7+ victims, span of crimes between October 28, 1978 and about 10 years. And these all happened in these two states, New Hampshire and Vermont, that we know of. So we're going to try to go by victim to victim. So these are the confirmed victims. Just a quick note on my personal opinion, I'm not sure that all of these victims are connected. I don't know where I stand, whether or not this is one person doing all of these or separate individuals, but it's been a long time, so hopefully we can get some answers soon on this stuff here. It's possible this guy here, the person who did this, is already dead, but I don't know how accurate that is, so I can't. Okay, so these are all the confirmed. On October 24th, 1978, so that's a long time ago, 27-year-old Kathy Milliken left work and went to the Chandler Brook Wetland Preserve in New London, New Hampshire, where she was photographing birds. The next day, her body, with at least 29 stab wounds, was found only yards away from where she was last seen. Okay, so we'll go back to the map. So here's New London, New Hampshire, right in here. I don't know if I can get in there. So this is the I'm gonna save this. Chandler Brook. One character. I made it by one character. Okay, so I saved that. So that's where that is. So she's obviously a birder. So she was in here, birding, taking images, pictures. How far can I get in here, do you think? That's it. I'm not far from there, so maybe I can get some images at some point. Let's see if I can drop my guy in here, because I'm really bad at this shit. Hold on a second. It's because of my mouse. It's horrible. Nope, doesn't want to go there. Nope, doesn't want to go there. Oh, we can go here. Okay, so how did I get down there? So as you can see, it's pretty wooden here, right? Nope, won't let me go in there. All right, well. So anyways, so if you head up here, Wilder Road, you get to the place where she was found. So I just can't get up in there. Maybe I'll go up there and take some pictures. We'll see. Okay. right there. So basically, if you go up here, this Wilder Road and take a left, or it's right in here. And there must be like a parking spot here. I'll go up there and take some pictures, but that's where this is where she was found anyway, so. Okay, so let's go back to the, Catherine Milliken. Okay, so this is coming from, this is going to come from the cold case New Hampshire files here. So let me turn this music off. And this won't be a long video, so let me, there'll be a commercial. And this is from WMUR. I don't want that. Why is this happening to me today? Oh my God. It's not letting me in here. I don't know why. Okay, so that's not working. Bear with me here. No, it's not going to let me in there. All right, well, we'll go to another one, I guess. Okay, I got this on Facebook, so let's go back to the beginning here. So this was found, her body was found in the fall. So this is basically everything we covered in the reading. So to submit a tip to New Hampshire State Police at 1-800-525-5555 if you know anything about this case. And that's what we waited about 10 minutes for. Sorry. Okay. So I'll have to make what I'm going to have to do is kind of like a spreadsheet on this or something, if I can even create a spreadsheet. I don't think I even know how to do that, but I can create some sort of a timeline for this on some sort of app. Okay, so about 3 years later, on July 25th, 1981, a 37-year-old Mary Elizabeth Critchley, a student from the University of Vermont, disappeared near Interstate 91 at the Massachusetts-Vermont border, where she had been hitchhiking to Waterbury, Vermont. She was last seen by a friend who dropped her off near exit 13 of the Massachusetts Turnpike, so basically the Mass Pike. Back in these days, hitchhiking was fairly common. Not recommended, but fairly common. So on August 9th, a couple weeks later, her body was found in a wooden area off of Unity Stage Road in New Hampshire, Unity, New Hampshire. About 80 miles from where she was last seen. Owing to the condition of the body, the medical examiner was unable to determine the cause of death. And I got rid of the map. Okay, so this is 91 here. So this is 91. It basically goes up and down the border between, Massachusetts, Vermont. There's 3 states right here: Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire. Here's Brattleboro. So she was dropped off by the Mass Pike. So down in here somewhere. And she was found all the way up in Unity, which is right in here. So here's 91, Unity. I'm out in Unity all the time. There's Goshen. Uh, there's New London here where the first victim was found. Unity. This is all connected here. This is all pretty much the lower upper valley of New Hampshire here. So she was last seen in here somewhere alive, and then, which is strange because this is where Mara Murray went missing in here. I mean, I'm sorry, Mara Murray was from Amherst here. That's where she was going to school. And she was found up in there. There's another way you can get there too, though. It's the long way, but you go up, you get off, and I believe that's Route 12. So you can go 91 or you can go the back way. This is 114 here. So yeah, here's 12A. Okay, so you can get there from here. There's lots of exits here, but you don't always have to just take 91. You can go up this way, Route 12. So exit 13, near exit 13 of the Massachusetts Turnpike. That's not it. Yeah, maybe it is. Nope. Yeah, maybe. So that's in Auburn. Yeah, so she was far. I wonder what she was doing down there. That is a little bizarre. This is confusing. On July 25th, 1981, a student from the University of Vermont disappeared near Interstate 91 at the Massachusetts-Vermont border. So they're saying she disappeared near Interstate 91 at the Massachusetts-Vermont border, but then it says she was last seen by a friend who dropped her off near exit 13, the Massachusetts Turnpike. I know exactly where Unity Stage Road is. Okay, so because this is the Massachusetts Turnpike right here. This is the Vermont-New Hampshire border right here. But this is the highway here. So I don't know what to get from that, but let's check it out anyways. So Mary. Actually, $40 years ago. Right? Here we go with this stupid thing again. Just let it play. Don't touch anything, just let it play. Okay. So let's shut the music off. I'll share this. So this is victim number 2. Mary Elizabeth Critchley. She was last seen alive in Framingham, Massachusetts, near exit 13 in July. So that's better. So a friend just drops her off at the exit. So this is the Mass Pike. We were just there. That's exactly where we were. So she was far. So this is Waterbury, Vermont. So she was dropped off and she was planning to hitchhike back. That's just a bad. That's just a bad uh, combination right there. You know, um, just is. So her body was found way up here. This is dead of the summer here. And again, if you have any information, um, that's the tip line there to the New Hampshire State Police. I mean, it's kind of strange because you have to know that area up there to know where Unity is. I mean, there's people in the state that don't know where Unity is. So we were right all along. This is Framingham here. So she was dropped off in here somewhere at 13, exit 13. And she was planning on hitchhiking all the way back to Waterbury, Vermont, which is up in here, and she ends up over in here. And the problem with New England is there's the same town names everywhere, so you got to be pretty specific. So Waterbury, Vermont is all the way up in here. And this is far. You know, this is it doesn't look far, but it takes forever. You know, you gotta really want to go down here to go down there. You know what I'm saying? Something. I mean, there's nothing up in here, literally. So, I mean, that's where. So let's get rid of that now. So I figured out how to do that. You got to let the ad run completely until you click on it, or they'll keep making you go to eBay Motors. So note to self. So let's go here. This is kind of why I like StreamYard, because I can do this shit much faster than the other streaming platform that I've been using. So these are the victims here, and these are the first two, I think. I think these are in order. One got away, so which we'll be getting into at some point. All right, so let's go back to, I don't know what I just did. Okay. So there's no cause of death for that one. Mary Elizabeth Critchley. Okay, now we're going to go to Bernice Quartermatch, 17-year-old nurse's aide and high school student. So you see the ages here. They kind of vary a little bit, 27, 37. This one was fairly young at 17. I think she was the youngest. Was last seen by her boyfriend's mother in Claremont, New Hampshire on May 30th, 1984. So 3 years after this one. She was thought to have set out to see her boyfriend in Newport by hitchhiking along New Hampshire Route 12. Newport and Claremont are about a few miles separating the two. You kind of have to drive through Claremont to get to Newport. She did not reach her destination and was subsequently reported missing. On April 19th, about 2 years later, a fisherman happened upon Quartermatch's remains near the Sugar River in Newport, New Hampshire. Forensic examination uncovered evidence of knife wounds to the chest and an injury to the head. Her throat had been cut. So we got stab wounds here, stab wounds here. So let's go back to the map. So there's Claremont. You're going east to Newport. Claremont, Newport, New London, and Unity is right here. So you can see they're all pretty much basically in the same vicinity. You know, maybe at the most 20 to 30 mile distance difference. Claremont is basically on the Vermont border, so it doesn't take long to get over to Vermont. But once you get out in here, it's really hard to get anywhere. It takes forever. But New Hampshire's a little bit less sparse than this here. All right, so we're going to play that. I'm just letting the ad run, so they don't have to go through that bullshit that I went through before earlier. It's also the longest commercial ever. I've gotten a lot of car parts from eBay Motors, though. They're pretty good. I don't know if I've saved a lot, but I probably did. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Okay, so here's the write-up on Bernice Connerman. Quarter match. Probably destroying that. So let's go back as I was talking. These are all unsolved. So 2 years separation between the two of them. So stabbed to death. So she was same MO as the first one. So she was missing for almost 2 years before her remains were found. That was Claremont. This is Claremont. Long time ago. She was last seen alive around 3:30 p.m. on May 30th, 1984. And I'm already starting to see some sort of a pattern here with the hair. She was reported missing the next day. Look at this cop car. You don't see those anymore. So at the time, it was believed Quartermatch was hitchhiking. Another similarity here. Cat Hole Road in Newport. Good Lord. It's not going to let me do it. Here's 103. 10. And then again, if you have any information, there's the tip number 1-800-525-5555. So let's get out of there. Okay. I should save that. What was that name of that place? Cat Hole. So there's a cat hole. There's a cat hole road in Claremont and Newport. So that's what I'm doing here, is trying to add this to the list. And this is Bernice. Is it Bernice? Quartermarsh, yeah. Tim Manch, Horton Manch. 1986, right? Very good. Okay, I added her. Put the music back on here. I know this is boring for anybody who's watching on the replay, but this is kind of how I like to do things because I'm not really all that intelligent. So I have to be very precise for myself a little bit. All right, so let's go back to the list. So that was victim 3. And I've already noticed there's a few differences in this Wikipedia thing and what some of the latest from the media source is saying. So she had knife wounds to the chest, injury to the head, and problems with her throat. Okay, so let's go to Ellen Ruth Freed. So on June 22nd, 1984, 26-year-old Ellen Ruth Freed, supervising north at Valley Regional Hospital, was last seen making a late-night stop at 2 a.m. to use a payphone. I remember this one at Leo's Market, Claremont, New Hampshire. I don't know if that's there anymore. I think this is the one where she was calling her friend or sister, and then she just disappeared from the phone. And yes, that's what a payphone used to look like. And they were everywhere. Now, the only place you're going to see a payphone is in the Smithsonian. That's about it. But the one good thing about payphones is you could always call collect, as long as somebody on the other end picked up the phone and agreed to the charges. So she called from a payphone, and they had these cords, so you couldn't go very far. They could get fingerprints and stuff off of these phones probably, but anyways. So she was 26 years old. So we got 27, 37. I think this is the youngest victim here, and 26-year-old Ellen Ruth Freed. So the next day, she failed to report to work, and the car was found abandoned on Jarvis Road, a few miles away from the market where she used the payphone. Freed's skeletal remains were found in an isolated wooded area near the banks of Sugar River, right outside of Newport in Kellyville. September 19th. So her remains weren't found for about a year later. And post-mortem examination revealed evidence of multiple stab wounds and probable sexual assault. So other than the one, they didn't determine any cause to, right here, the cause of death for Mary Critchley. They were all pretty much unalived by a knife. But this one here, probable sexual assault, right? And all of these, except for maybe New London, they're pretty much all in the same area. Even New London. This one's a little odd, though, that she wasn't in like a busy area. This is a busy area here. This is a busy area here. This is a busy area here, but Critchley was in basically a preserve. So this one here, Kathy Milliken. So she was found basically not in the same kind of location that the other ones were found. But I'm not going to pull up the map because these two here were found in the same vicinity here, or went missing in the same vicinity. So let's look up I think Unsolved, the TV show Unsolved might have had something on this here. Okay, again, I'm waiting for that advertisement to stop. So once it stops, we'll play the video on her. They have a little bit more information on this person here, this victim here, than they do the other ones. So July 20th, she was last seen about a year and 2 months before she was found. She was seen talking on a phone. These payphones were always put in strategic locations too. You know, a lot of these convenience stores back then had the payphone right there. So if you came to use the payphone, you might think about going inside and getting a drink or something too. So they were strategically placed outside of businesses. So Kellyville is basically Newport. It's the same town really. It's just an outside of Newport, but I think it's its own town, but it's known as Newport. So here it's saying an autopsy could not determine a cause of death. We'll see what else. Investigators said evidence at the scene suggested she had been sexually assaulted. Doesn't make any sense. So again, we have conflicting reports here. I don't trust WMUR at all. But that is, they're probably getting their information from the New Hampshire unsolved case files. So I don't know. Here it's saying post-mortem examination revealed evidence of multiple stab wounds and probable sexual assault. So I don't know where they're getting that from. Where here they're saying they don't fucking know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I don't know where they're getting this information from, but New Hampshire has its own unsolved case files, so I'll have to look that up next time to see if I can get the actual information, but I'm pretty much going by this here. But once I get more information on that, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure Wikipedia is probably a little bit more accurate. All right, so let's get out of there. It's widely known that WMUR doesn't always get their information correct. It wouldn't be shocking, right? Okay, so it clearly states here, 1985 post-mortem examination revealed evidence of multiple stab wounds and probable sexual assault. So that's what I'm going to go by until further notice. How long have I been here? Minute 12. I'll do one more and then we'll get the hell out of here. Get rid of that. Okay, so on April 15th, 1986, so we're almost at 2 years into these crimes, right? I mean, 10 years into these crimes. So 78, 86, 8 years time span so far. 36-year-old Linda Moore was doing yard work alone outside her home in Saxons River, Vermont, near Route 121 at 2 p.m. while her husband was at work. This one here, I'm not really sure about this whole, I don't know if this one's related, but they have it here, so. Near Route 121 at 2 p.m. while her husband was at work. That evening, her husband returned home an hour after she was last seen to find his wife's dead body in the living room. So apparently she was doing yard work alone and she was dragged inside, bearing 25 knife wounds. The crime scene suggested a fierce struggle had taken place. So this was right after she was unalived when she was found by her husband. The crime scene suggested a fierce struggle had taken place. There were no signs of forced entry or ransacking. Numerous witnesses reported having seen a slightly stocky, dark-haired man with a blue knapsack lingering near Moore's home the day of the murder. The man was thought to be between 20 and 25 years old. With a round face and wearing dark-rimmed glasses. Numerous witnesses. I fucking hate when they say numerous or several. How many? Can you tell us exactly how many witnesses? The following year, a composite sketch was released. So there's the sketch right there. Can I copy this, you think? No. It's this guy right here. So this was the sketch that was, I'm assuming, taken from some of the witnesses. This is also new, fierce struggle. That wasn't mentioned in the other ones. Clean shaven. That would be something that you would remember, right? And that's it. That's what you're going to get from that. There's not, since it's in Vermont, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. All right, so hold on a second. I got something here. So let me stop screen. Stop the music. And then we'll go to the video on that.
Five-year-old cold case remains just as open and unsolved as it did on the day it occurred. And this week's Mystery in the Mountains, we tell you the story of the murder of Linda Moore.
All murders are tragic. All murders are senseless. It's a tragic, senseless murder of a 36-year-old mother of two and wife.
Linda Moore was home alone on April 15, 1986, when her husband, Stephen Moore, came home to a gruesome scene.
It was one of the first warm, sunny days of the spring. The temperature was in the mid-50s. A lot of people were out and active. Linda herself had been seen outside, in the late morning, early afternoon hours, on a chaise lounge. She had a radio, listening to a radio, just soaking up the spring sun.
The couple lived on Route 121 outside of the village of Saxtons River, Vermont.
So we'll go. We'll go here. So here's Saxon's River. And again, you can see, it's in the same kind of area. This is all tied together here. Newport, the London, Claremont, Vermont. This is on the border here. So it's, I don't know, I would say within a 50-mile radius here. So it's not, it's not too far away from the other ones. It's definitely off of major interstates, right? And, there's plenty of back roads here you can go through too. So I'm not saying this one isn't connected, but I mean, it might be. They haven't found anybody. So, but usually when there's a husband involved, but I'm pretty sure they looked thoroughly into him. I mean, it's been forever, right?
Shortly after 3 p.m., detectives say that Stephen said he came home to find Linda dead on their living room floor.
Now, based on the information I have, the investigation that was done back then, there was no indication that it was a forced entry. Nothing was ransacked or out of order in the house.
So after 3 p.m., right?
All had occurred, and then the assailant.
Husband, Stephen Moore, came home to a gruesome scene.
It was one of the first warm, sunny days of the spring. The temperature was in the mid-50s. A lot of people were out and active. Linda herself had been seen outside, in the late morning, early afternoon hours, on a chaise lounge. She had a radio, listening to a radio. Just.
Yeah, radios used to be very popular. Not so much anymore, but used to sit in your yard with a radio plugged in or with batteries and stuff like that. You just never see that shit anymore.
Soaking up the spring sun.
The couple lived on Route 121 outside of the village of Saxtons River, Vermont. Shortly after 3 p.m., detectives say that Stephen said he came home to find Linda dead on their living room, Vermont. Shortly after 3 p.m., detectives say that
after 3 p.m., shortly after 3 p.m. So here it says that evening. Evening is after 3 p.m., right? Oh. I mean, here they got it right, 2 p.m. Well, who works till 2 p.m.?
Stephen said he came home to find Linda dead on their living room floor.
Now, based on the information I have, the investigation that was done back then, there was no indication that it was a forced entry. Nothing was ransacked or out of order in the house. The assault had occurred, and then the assailant had left.
I mean, the only thing that does make sense is if she was outside. I don't necessarily think that there would be a, sign of forced entry, right? So ransack basically means there was no sign of a theft or burglared. So I just looked that up.
Right after.
Vermont State Police say Linda had been stabbed more than 20 times, and the murder weapon has never been found.
She fought valiantly. It was a violent, probably a brief struggle. She had defensive wounds. She fought for her life.
I mean, they look like a decent couple, right? Picture tells 1,000 words or something like that. I don't know.
And she fought hard. Right in her living room where she should have felt the safest in the world, which is crazy.
Investigators say Linda was a big part of the village of Saxton's River.
Very active in the community, very well liked in the community by all accounts. Just, socially active, friendly. She seems, from what we could tell from reports, she was just.
That just sucks. Right?
Someone everybody liked.
She typically spent most days at home while her 2 children were at school, and her husband worked as a local contractor in the area.
So Linda Moore was a stay-at-home mother. She also worked
days at home while her 2 children were at school, and her husband worked as a local contractor in the area.
What kind of a local contractor?
So Linda Moore was a stay-at-home mother. She also worked for her husband's construction business doing bookkeeping.
Detectives say they were able to collect evidence from the scene, but continue to look for scientific answers.
A lot of that was processed back then. Even to this day, stuff is still being processed because of new technology.
Really? I mean, is it really being processed? This was done. When was this done?
And the tools that we have now to do some of the things that we couldn't do back then.
As far as suspects,
there was never a lead suspect that we know of. It's really kind of a whodunit.
If you have any information regarding the murder of Linda Moore, please contact Vermont State Police Major Crimes Unit. Covering cold cases across the region, I'm Libby Farrow, and this is Mystery in the Mountains.
When was this done? This was done in 2021, so I mean, do you really expect me to believe that there's still, forensically looking into this? I don't know. I just don't know about that. But anyways, see if there's anything more. So it clearly states here, based on the information they have, and that was done in the initial investigation, that there was no indication that it was forced entry. Nothing was taken or out of order in the house. The assault had occurred and the assailant had left right after. You know, you wonder if they have any shoe prints. She worked for her husband. This is weird. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, they are. They are linking this in with these other ones, so I just don't buy witness statements, especially when they say numerous witnesses. Like, I mean, how do they know that she was doing yard work? Maybe she went inside to get the phone. Maybe the phone rang. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that one's connected to the other ones. Seems a little far-fetched to me, but it just bothers me when these cases. I mean, this was done 1986. So I can't take my shoes off. So 2023. $37 years ago. I don't buy this witness report at all. But I don't know how accurate I am either, but it seems a little suspicious to me. All right. Okay, so we're going to get out of here. It's I've been here an hour and a half, and it's almost 6 o'clock. The sun's coming out here, so I'm going to get out of here. I hope everybody has a great day. It is Labor Day. I'm going to spend most of the day sleeping because that's what I do. And I got the lawn mowed yesterday. That was awesome because the lawnmower started, so that's good. And I hope everybody, like I said, has a good day. If you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. You can hit like and subscribe if you want. You don't have to. I'm not here for the money, that's for sure. I just here to try to help out as much as I possibly can. If I can't, bring some awareness to some of these cases. I'll be getting back into Florida again. I'm just going over some more content for the Florida fire in Indiana, because that's the forefront right now. But I wanted to start this Connecticut River Valley Killer too. I've been wanting to do that for, I don't know, a couple of years. So I will see everybody later. Have a great day.